Chris Lovell here with another edition of Patriot Talk. Colton Coots taking care of us behind the camera as always, and my man Jesse Sanchez, who coaches the football. Yes, that's right. That's right. Yes, soccer season is here. Weather's changing. It's getting a little chilly, and I will apologize to Coach now because we waited too late, and they were in the middle of their chaos of last season, so we didn't. It's been a minute since we've gotten these soccer coaches in here, but we're ahead of the game this year. So, man, since we last talked, you now have a senior class.
I do, yes.
Yes, you have your own stadium.
Yes, we're opening our new stadium this year. It's exciting. Yeah. Yes, we don't have to go to LCMS anymore, which, LCMS is a great setup. It really is, but just having your own stadium, something that's yours, is really nice this year.
Yeah,
it's exciting.
And it's a nice facility.
Yes.
Yeah, and there's you got, have we named the lake?
I don't know. Coach Ellison on the girls' side is calling it her own name. My boys are probably going to fight that one. They're like, we're going to call it something else, But
she did. She was in here the other day.
Yeah,
she calls it Lake Ellison.
She does. All right. I said, she's trying to mark her territory, I think. I was like, hey, let's pump the brakes on that one.
And she did tell us. She did tell us that that some of the boys players have actually kicked the ball into Lake Ellison.
Yes, one yesterday actually during practice.
Okay, gotcha. It's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
It's an accident. Mm-hmm. It's just the proximity of it. But, okay, before we get into your roster and your season and all those things, but how much do you appreciate having your own facility right there on campus? Because there was some travel, there was some bus drives, there was some not really feeling like you had a home and all that to be able to train and whatever, and now you're on the other side of that, so I'm sure you appreciate it even more.
Yeah, like I said, I'm appreciative of having LCMS. It's turf field, it's a nice setup, it's kind of open out there. So it wasn't a bad place to go play, but the traveling there and traffic at 4 o'clock was kind of chaotic, kind of like here in Indiana right now. I'm sure y'all guys are loving that. And so having your own stadium where we can just walk out of that indoor facility, 10 feet away and be able to play and maybe come in at halftime if we need to or whatever, or when the game's over, you just walk in and you dress. It was never a home game per se, so you would always having to get on the bus no matter what.
Yeah,
to travel.
You mentioned that indoor. Are you able to use that for something?
So we use it some. It has to be. We tell the kids like we're outside. We're playing in the cold. I'm sure you know that, and so it has to be. Obviously we use common sense too, but like in the mornings during second period when it's in the teens, maybe that wind chill is just a little much. I bargain with Coach Sexton. I get a little piece because off season's in there too. Yeah. And we used to be smaller, so it was okay. I think now that we're growing, though, it's going to get a little chaotic. Once football's over. So
he can share.
Yeah, he share. I said, listen, we just did a little rondos, we just did a little piece, but it's just during second period after school. So we're always outside for the most part.
Okay, it's not the Joe Sexton indoor. Yeah.
We got to call that something too. Though. I don't know.
That's right. Yeah, we need a name for that. Name for that. And you mentioned the weather. Y'all. If you could change anything about high school soccer, what would it be?
I mean, I hate to say it. I don't want to make anybody angry, but the season, the winter sport is rough. I think you would get a lot more buy-in, maybe more kids out there. But that winter, it's tough. It takes a different kind of kid to play in these conditions. Last year in Estacado was probably one of the coldest games I've ever been in. And, in soccer, you just got T-shirts, shorts. It's not like you're protected by much. You might have a little cold gear underneath,
So they can't practice in, or can't play in a hoodie?
Not really, no. We don't do that. And so maybe like a cold gear and gloves, and now they're allowed, like a little beanie or whatever, a toboggan. But it was literally the rain was turning into like sleet. It was just freezing midway down. And so you're getting wet and it's freezing cold. It's brutal. So to me, that's the biggest thing is just being a winter sport. We've been practicing this week and it's been beautiful. And the kids, we made that joke, like, could you imagine if it was like this most of the time?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I'm like, I don't want to get too excited.
Because you literally hit in Lubbock anyway, you hit, December through April? So it's like arguably the coldest, windiest.
Yeah, it's funny because December's pretty good still. You have some days where the sun's out, and you're like, yeah, okay, that's not too bad. And then you get to January, February, some of March, it's like,
even in April?
Even in April, you could, yeah. If you make
last
it
year
that far.
It snowed in, I think, April the 5th last year.
And it's just the wind chill. Like, you can deal with a lot, but it's when that wind chill is just cutting you, it's cold.
Yeah. And you mentioned, because running for some is not, and then cold for some is not, and then you combine the two, it's like you're dealing with a tougher kid. Tell me about your roster, because you haven't You have one team.
I have one team still.
You're hoping to at some point grow that, and where you have a JV team and things like that. But have you had to recruit kids to come in and play, or have you held your numbers since you kind of started?
Well, it's funny. We go back 2 years ago when I got this job. Coach Tech said, "Hey, you have to recruit. You have to go out there and get some kids to play. Maybe that don't necessarily play soccer." So that first year, we just had a bunch of bodies out there. Most kids had never played soccer. And we weren't very competitive. Last year, we had most of these kids return, so for me that was a win. Kids enjoyed it, even though it was not a winning season, and we made the playoffs. So that was very exciting to see the growth in the kids. And we obviously had a couple, I think 3 freshmen start last year, so that helped, and I think 2 of them made all-district as freshmen, and so that made us kind of get that extra jump and be more competitive. So we won 4th place and made the playoffs. And this year, I'm bringing everybody back. Okay. And so that's really exciting, the fact that, these kids have been here with me for 3 years now. Once again, maybe the skill set wasn't there. They've been working, getting better. Most of my kids, though, are on varsity football still. So I haven't even seen them. So I won't even see them for a while.
And how many do you have doing football?
I don't know the number off the top of my head. I should know it, but it's. I want to say.
Are we talking 2?
We're talking about 8 that I can think of right now.
Okay.
And a lot of them contribute too on football. Like my goalkeeper is a starting linebacker.
Okay, so that was my question: is how many dual sport?
Yeah.
Because that's also the tricky part about like basketball and soccer, because it's a winter sport. Mm-hmm. It bleeds over into everything else.
So go back to your question earlier. That's kind of the thing. It's like with it being a winter sport, we overlap with basketball, baseball, a little bit of track too. So it's really tough to get those kids to come out unless they really love it. But I think in the soccer period right now, I have 8 kids right coming, and out of those 8, 4 are returners from last year.
Okay.
And then we have this year we had a couple freshmen come out, and so what we're trying to do is build for the future. So I told those freshmen, you're not on the team, but you're going to be on our practice squad. In soccer, we call it reserves. Kind of like in NFL, you would call it the practice squad.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Practice team. And so that way they can build for the future, and learn now, maybe watching seniors or guys above them.
So it's because you had tryouts. And
a little bit, yeah. Mostly freshmen. I haven't touched the upper guys yet.
I got you, but you had some tryouts, and you're just retaining because this is you're trying to build a program. It's not just a team.
It's not just this year. I'm looking for the future, and I told these freshmen, I said, I don't have any spots for you right now. I'm bringing everybody back. So it's not like anybody left and graduated, right?
I still want you to be
so I still want you a part of it. So I'm keeping 6 freshmen, and I said, you're coming after school and you're practicing with us. Okay. You're on the reserves. You get to learn and see the other kids, but you get to be here.
Okay.
And that's, ideally, if we had a JV, they'd be on the JV team, but we just don't have the numbers for that yet.
Okay. Yeah, and you typically carry what was on your team, like 20?
20 is the number. I think last year we ended up with 17 just because the numbers are still low. Okay. This year I'm looking at 20.
Okay.
And then like I said, those freshmen would be on that little.
Your seniors. Like who?
So I have 4. My goalkeeper, Josiah Rosales, really good linebacker for our football team. Hopefully we get a W, tomorrow. Then I have, as far as seniors, Cesar Santillano.
Okay.
He's a forward, kind of midfielder. He came from, I've had him since, I've known him. Same thing with Josiah. The funny thing is I had these guys in 8th grade when I was the middle school coordinator.
Okay.
So I've known them since 8th grade. But they were at Old, and then when we opened Liberty, they came over. Okay, so Cesar's another one. One of our, both of them have been our captains the last couple of years. And then we have Sebastian De Leon. Okay. He's kind of relatively new still. I actually recruited him out of wrestling, so Coach Q would appreciate that. He was in wrestling at the time, and he didn't know what he was doing. I was like, well, you ever play soccer? He's like, I used to, back when I was little. So, well, come on. You sound like the perfect candidate if you have a little bit of experience. Yeah. So I recruited him last year. And I'm going blank. I have one more.
Well, and then you mentioned you have some freshmen that played quite a bit for you last year, right?
Yes.
So, any other standouts? Were they like heavy contributors? Or?
Yes, possibly. Well, he got first team all district. Okay. He missed out on the newcomer. But just one of my freshmen. He's gonna be a sophomore. He's really good. He's kicking for varsity right now. Possibly Randon Slump. Okay. He's pretty special. He can be really good, and I think he's one of the few kids that plays soccer outside of the team. He's one of the few club soccer guys.
It's funny you say that because soccer is one of those sports where like, where did this kid come from? And because they're doing that thing off to the side, and like everybody's into this football, basketball, baseball, youth thing, and like soccer is almost this like separate entity that never stops. But if you're not in it, you don't know the kids that are doing that because they're doing and they're driving to Dallas or the Metroplex every
you have
weekend.
to play.
That's what I'm saying.
And see, Randon plays baseball. Josiah used to play baseball.
Okay.
And Josiah was, I think, on the varsity team a couple years ago.
Okay.
But he decided to focus more on football and soccer.
Okay.
Rendon is a catcher on JV last year.
Okay.
Cesar's the only one at straight soccer.
Okay.
Jake Sweeney's my other senior. Great kid. I gave him my award because he's just the epitome of what you want. It's funny that I forgot his name a second ago, but I feel horrible because he got the award at the end of the year because he's just the epitome of what you want. Like, he's amazing. He plays football as well.
And Asen Huffman?
And then Asen Huffman's going to be a junior, and he's I think a starting cornerback.
Okay, yeah.
So there's like I said, most of my kids, I haven't seen them all year. That I'm on the sidelines with them on Friday, talking to them, cheering them on, but they're playing football, and they're focused on that right now.
And if they're not in shape when they show up, then we'll blame Coach Sexton.
I got a couple of those. I got a couple linebackers, Josiah and Tyler Hormel. They're like, Coach, we're getting big. We're not in soccer shape. I was like, well, we got time for that, because they're used to short sprints,
sure.
honestly, versus long.
It's like basketball shape and soccer shape are different. Unless
100%.
you're actually doing it,
100%.
You can't replicate it. You can get on a treadmill or go run around the block or whatever you want to do, but it's just not the same thing. The fast and the long runs and the sprints, and it's just you can't replicate it. Take me through like your scheme or like how you are coaching with what you want your kids to do. Like, where did you model this from? Where did you get this? Like, have you been able to tweak it or change that or?
So that first year we were open, we were like, we just got to put a team out there.
Free for all.
Free for all. We call it parking the bus, right? That first year, you're just trying to not give up a lot of goals. So we try to park the bus, ran like a 4-4-2, very basic formation.
Okay.
This last year, I was very lucky. Coach Tolliver, one of his former players, came to us and said he was at Texas Tech and wanted to, just volunteer.
Okay.
So through the through Texas Tech, he was able to do that.
Okay.
And he went to all my games. He was always there, and we came up with the idea of running a 4-3-3.
Okay.
Right, 4 defensive players, 3 in the middle, 3 up top.
Okay. And
it really helped us a lot. And with the players that we have, it was perfect for that philosophy.
Okay.
And having coach. So when we started, my first 2 years I was by myself. So it's kind of hard to do much, right? When you have keepers trying to do something and you have defense and offense, kind of like you would on football or basketball or anything else, it's hard to do that. Having him last year really helped. We hired him this year. So all that hard work he did last year, we hired him, and I have an assistant for the first time. And what we were able to do now is
who is this?
Cesar Cardenas, Alan.
Yes.
He goes by Alan, but he's a great guy, real kind of quiet. Played for Coach Tolliver and Borger, football and soccer, so he's good at both. I've been lucky to have him, blessed, because most times you don't get a soccer coach assistant that understands the game. Yeah. But I'm able to take. He's able to take our offensive guys, your midfielders, forwards, and work with them at practice. I'm able to focus on the defensive guys. Okay. So it's been a lot better this year, or it's going to be a lot better. I'm excited for that. Just having an assistant adult with me on the bus for drives, even simple stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. Just having somebody to talk to and say, "Hey, what do you see? What do you think?"
Yeah,
it's going to be a blessing.
Yes. The operations part of it. And soccer's one of those things too, where this is because your district, okay. Yeah. You're explain to people that maybe aren't familiar with this that it's a different because the classification that you guys are in, soccer's treated a bit differently as far as district goes, and so like y'all's district is different than everybody. Yeah,
than everybody else. It's weird, right? But it's funny how everything changes. But there's nothing smaller than 4A soccer, right? Okay. And then you have
everybody's lumped in together.
Yeah, so now we're going to a 10-team because Memorial opened. So we went from a 9-team district to 10. So I was telling the kids, or maybe I was talking to my assistant coach, that's 9 teams that you're playing. So it's 18 games, right? 18 games in a row. So every Tuesday, Friday. So 18 games, you do that by week. What is that? 9 weeks?
Yeah,
9 weeks straight without a break.
January, February, and March.
It's just straight
busy.
And that's what I tell the kids. Like Christmas is still some time, whatever. But once we get hit running in January, it's nonstop. But that 10-team district on the boys' side is very competitive because if you look at these towns, myself being Mexican-American, we grew up playing the sport.
Sure.
All these towns that you're playing are predominantly Hispanic. Mm-hmm. They grew up playing the sport. So it's a very competitive on the boys' side. When you have teams like Andrews, San Angelo, Lakeview, Greenwood is up there like us. What do you call it? You have Snyder, Estacado. I mean, it's a Pecos going all the way down there, you know. I mean, it feels like almost you're in El Paso. And so I hate that drive, by the way. But it's like you're in a predominantly Hispanic, what do you call it, district or whatever. Yeah. So you're playing kids that grow up playing the sport. So every game, it's a fight. Yeah. It really is. It's just very competitive on the boys' side.
Are you you're still a shoe guy?
I am. You know, it's funny, since 2 years ago you asked me that, and we talked, and I'm big into shoes. I used to talk to your son about that. I still do the shoe thing a little bit, but funny, in 2 years I really got into sports cards. I don't know if you know anything about sports cards. I'm huge. Okay. Yeah, my wife gets so mad. I love ripping. We call it wax, right? Okay. Or we put sports cards. Okay. Especially NFL. I'm a huge NFL guy.
So you're buying and selling? Or
buying and selling trading, a little bit. Yeah, trading, things like that. I'm kind of down right now because people make fun of me. I'm a huge Redskins. We call them the Redskins, the Commanders. Okay, yes. I'm a huge Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, he's hurt.
And I got a bunch of his stuff his rookie year, and we see what happened with him this year. He's down right now.
How did you come to be a Commanders/Redskins?
I have no idea. Honestly, growing up, I'm from Hereford, and everybody was a Cowboys fan. And so I was like, you know, as a kid, sometimes you just want to be different. Okay, gotcha. And so everybody was a Cowboys fan. And I guess I picked the rival. It was the logo. It was cool. I don't know. I think that's why everybody asked me that, because I have a picture in third grade with my Redskins shirt on. With my teachers. So I always tell people, listen, I've been loyal since I was third. Said, you guys are bandwagon fans with the Chiefs and all these other teams that are in the now, right? And it changes yearly with these kids. I remember kids used to be Seahawks fans when the Seahawks were good.
Oh, yeah, the Legion of Boom.
Yeah, the Legion of Boom. And then now everybody Chiefs because Mahomes, whatever. But it's like, I said, I'm loyal. And it's like,
you're
no matter what.
What I appreciate about you is that you're just a sports guy.
I do. I love
you like
West Texas football is the best. I hate to say it, but it is. And so I love NFL. I love my kids both play travel baseball, so I'm good friends with Coach Kello on the baseball side. I go to his games when we're not playing. I just love sports. Coach Hicks is a good friend. I love the basketball boys. My kid plays basketball as well, so it's like I'm all for kids playing sports. Everything.
Yes. Love the competition. Take me through. Does your team this year have a theme? Have you tried to have like a motto about like kind of like we can all rally behind or anything like that? Have you kind of gotten there yet with anything?
No, so we're talking about basketball. So I used to coach at Coronado with Coach Dean, Randy Dean, one of the best, right? And every year we'd have that theme. So I thought about that this year, but I really want to get the kids' input. Okay. I don't want it to come from me. You know what I mean? But I do want to have that input because I remember like we used to pound the rock and we had a giant boulder in that locker room at Coronado. I mean, you know, little things like that. And so I've been blessed to be under some amazing coaches. And so I want to kind of follow that, but I also wanted to come from the kids. And like I said, I haven't seen my boys. I don't see my boys until football's done, and hopefully it's not for a long time.
How tricky is that? Because you don't know when you're going to see them. But back on the schedule too, because of that, you don't know how long this football season is going to go.
I don't.
It could end quickly, or it could go 2 or 3 more weeks. How quickly is the transition for those guys? Like, do they literally turn shoulder pads and helmet in and like, hey man, come to my office and let's go?
Yeah, selfishly, I want to tell Coach Sexton I need them now because we start December 1st, as you probably know. Okay. Yeah. Right. They could be playing through then, so I won't see them. Okay. But you know, anything could happen. You know, Friday and then during Thanksgiving break, if they win, they would play at Thanksgiving break. Say they were to be done or whatever, they would come to me December 1st. But they still got to do their little extra interviews that they do at football, I believe. Okay. So maybe, you know, in the period I wouldn't have them, but then after school maybe I could get them. But we start December 12th. Okay, it's our first scrimmage.
And you scrimmage 3 times between December 12th and the 19th. So
like football could be going through that first week. I might have to cancel the first scrimmage because I don't have enough bodies. Like that's how scary it is, you know.
And speak to when you know you're in a big district, you only have so many non-district games to schedule. Like how many are you realistically looking at? Like 5? So
with the crazy big district this year, with us having 10 teams, right, and giving you 18 games, we only have one tournament, the WT tournament in Amarillo, and then I have one non-district game. That's all I'm allowed to because of the district being so big and already having so many games. So we're playing 18 district games.
How intentional were you about what tournament you put them in and the 100% game? Yeah, because
and it's like right after it's like you play in that tournament, and I'm told the boys, I said I want you healthy. I specifically asked the WT tournament director to, hey, sometimes you get 4. I was talking to Coach Gwynn from Old. Nowadays a lot of people are going to 3 because your body. on a weekend. And I said, yeah. I said, I just want 3 games because we start district that next Tuesday or like right that next week. So recovery time. I said, I can't afford to play 4 games with still a small, team, varsity team.
It's funny there's so many soccer terms that are only applied to soccer, but like recovery time is one of those. Yeah. That's when you hear like U.S. men's national team. Hey man, they're looking at some recovery time. They don't play again but you got the scarves.
Yeah.
We play on the pitch.
The fact that they said they're not fit. They're not fit to play. And you're like, what do you mean not fit? Look at him. And you're like, what do you mean? And it's like, no, he's not fit because physically he just can't go.
He doesn't have any gas.
Yeah, he doesn't have any gas in the tank. Exactly.
We have these crests as a logo. Yeah. I mean,
it's its own little.
That's right. Yeah. I know. And I kind of dig it. Yeah, you and like you'll be out there in the cold with a parka.
Oh.
Which is like this full length. It's not a mink or anything, but it's like this full length coat that from head to toe, pretty much. Right?
Yeah. Hey, if I do have an announcement, I would love. We're trying to, with us opening the new field, we can have endorsements, right?
Okay. Yes.
So I'm getting endorsements for the field. I mean, logos, whatever, sponsorships. I'm sorry. Yes. And so I finally got a couple, and now the first thing I'm doing is trying to get parkas for these kids because it is so cold.
Oh yeah.
And we got to have these parkas for your bench players. The kids that are playing on the field. It's different, right? You're moving, but when you come and sit on the bench, you throw the parka like you do in the NFL, where they're putting them on them.
Like John Riggins back in the day.
Oh, there you go.
See, Redskins.
Nice. But yeah, we need parkas for our team this year, and so I'm trying to get that with our new sponsorship with our field.
Okay,
so I'm excited.
Good. And they can contact you. Just shoot you an email.
Just shoot me an email. jsanchez@lcisd.net.
There you go. Okay, holiday coming up next week. Favorite Thanksgiving side dish.
My wife and I were just talking about so.
Of course,
it's funny. We were.
Of course, you
were. So we're Mexican American. My wife is white, right?
Okay.
My family's like, hey, you got to bring the what is that called? The cranberry dip? What is it?
Yeah, cranberry sauce.
Yeah, so that's not a Hispanic thing that we really eat. Okay. But they asked specifically for her to bring that.
Okay.
And then she's like, I'm not big on what y'all do. I was like, yeah, in the Hispanic culture, the Mexican American culture, we kind of just started it's like a buffet now. A little bit of everything, But for me, by far, the best thing is corn and mashed potatoes.
Okay.
I don't even care for turkey or ham that much.
Okay.
I'll take a little bit.
Okay.
But the mashed potatoes and the corn is where it's
at.
Okay,
interesting. Yeah. Everybody's got their own deal. Mm-hmm. How about favorite pie?
I'm old school. My wife's grandmother that passed away, she still has the recipe from, long time ago, and pecan pie.
Okay. Just keep it simple.
Keep it simple, pecan pie. I love it.
Ice cream or whipped cream with it?
You know what? Ice cream sounds amazing, right? Yeah. I've never done ice cream. I'll do a little bit of whipped cream.
Vanilla. It's got to be vanilla.
Ooh, yeah, it has to.
There you go. Well, man, you were kind to anything else we need to get into before we let you go? Because obviously season coming up, we're kind of waiting to our team to get put together here with football season still going on. We have a new stadium. We've got sponsorships available. We've got the crest. We've got now. How did the scarf become a thing? How did the soccer scarf? Where did that?
I guess it's more. There's more like.
Do you have one?
I don't. Okay. A lot of people do. You see a lot of the, especially professional.
Yeah, it's like the thing. It's like
my buddy at Greenwood, the coach out there. You make friends with, even though you want to beat them and they want to beat you. You become friends, and he's become a good friend. And he does those two as a team. More selling. Okay. I guess you could sell those.
Okay.
People are really going to buy those scarves. He goes, yeah, people buy them. Yeah. I guess he sells them at Greenwood with their logo, with their colors.
Okay.
And I think it's more for the fans, honestly. Sitting in the fans, get your hot chocolate, get your coffee, and you're watching because it's cold. Like I said, it's really cold.
So when you're uniform shopping for these guys, because that's a big deal to you too.
I almost wore it. I should have worn it. You know me. I'm a Nike guy.
Yeah, no, you're a big uniform guy.
Burkhead and Riley might disagree with that, over there. They're Adidas. They're old school, like soccer's Adidas. I'm like, okay, cool, but I'm a Nike guy. I think Nike just looks good on everything,
And Adidas is a massive soccer thing, European and all that stuff.
When you think about like Messi's Adidas, Ronaldo is Nike, and I've always been a bigger Ronaldo guy. So it's almost like, it's that rivalry too. Like, no, I'm sticking with Nike and this guy.
So you're having to buy beanies for them. That's part of the uniform.
Probably. They kind of supplied their own last year, and we met with the referees, all the head coaches did on Tuesday. And I asked them, because the kids will wear them because it's really cold. And they're like, yeah, it's okay. There's certain little rules here or there, but It'd be funny, like Asen, for example, would have his Texas Tech one on.
Okay.
And so I thought about that too. I was like, you know what? We should just get them as a team, like you're saying.
Yeah.
So that's kind of in the budget. I'm trying to work that into the budget and have team because that way we all look the same.
Yeah.
You know, ideally, that's what you want.
Yeah, I wouldn't think that would be that expensive, but that's what they say, man. Your feet, your hands,
that's
and the top of your head. That if you can get those things covered,
100%. The feet, hands, and ears.
If not, you're in trouble. I don't care how big your coat is. If your hands, your feet, and the top.
But
it's okay
it's okay when it's cold. It's that wind chill. You know what I mean? That gets you here in Lubbock. It bites you. Yes, it's tough.
Yes. And luckily at the new stadium, you've got windscreens.
And that's, what, Coach Limmer was out there. Coach Limmer's a good friend. She came out during second period athletics, and she was on the field with me, and we had a little off-season, my 8 kids in off-season. And she was talking about that, the fence. She goes, "It's going to block it?" I said, "Well, I don't know yet because it's been beautiful this whole week." I was like, "We'll see what happens when, the cold comes." But it seems like it'll be better than, I would say, LCMS.
Well, because there's
nothing out there. And right. I think it is going to block it a little bit better.
Yeah.
So.
Man, good people right here. We appreciate his time. You stay healthy with your kids and get them all in there. Not too soon though.
Not too soon. Yes, I want football to go as far as possible. Yeah. Absolutely. I can wait. These scrimmages are just practices. Honestly. Yeah. So we can afford to.
You got a busy December, but then a really busy January, February, and March, and hopefully further out there. But that's Coach Sanchez. Thank you to Colton. These shows brought to you by Gene Messer, Ford Lincoln. Certainly appreciate those fine folks. So for Coach Sanchez, for Chris Lover, for Colton Coons, this has been another edition of Patriot Talk.